All right, all right. Welcome, guys. My name is Scott Brewster, and we're going to get started here, and I will move through this information as fast as I can. I also want you to know that I am recording this, and typically, immediately after it's over, within about 20 minutes, I'll be having the recording on my personal Facebook wall. And this is Scott Brewster, Brewster, and you can grab it on my personal Facebook wall and then share it to yours. And because whether or not you find it interesting, I promise you, you will have some friends and family that will want to get involved because this is very, very potentially life-changing things. I know for us, for my family, for the last 6 or 7 weeks we've been involved, it has really, really, it just really helped our family. And I'm excited about where it's going to take us in the future. And more importantly, I'm excited about where it's going to take a lot of friends and family that I think I can help with this. So with all of that being said, guys, my name is Scott Brewster, and I am in Brandon, Mississippi. And I am a married father of 5 boys, and I am not an employee of Financial Education Services. I heard about this for the first time only 7 or 8 weeks ago, but I jumped in and been very active and working it very diligently for the last few weeks, and it's definitely paid dividends. But I wanted to open with that because, guys, I want you to understand that I too have friends and family that are always coming to me and asking me to look at this or do that, or, could you sell this or sell that? And, and to their defense, about 3 years ago, I decided to have a marketing company sort of on the side because I'm vice president of an insurance company. We process health insurance claims, and I've done well for myself over the years. But at the same time, I always had it in the back of my mind that I needed to probably have a sideline revenue of some sort to make sure that I, protected my family if I were to lose my job. So last year, my little sideline income actually passed my main 9-to-5 income, and I'm vice president of a multi-million-dollar company. So it was interesting that it happened. But this year in 2018, I decided to really get creative and look for something that every single adult in America needed. And it was just coincidentally, a friend of mine called me and told me about an A+ rated company with the Better Business Bureau. An A+ rated company with the Better Business Bureau had a financial education services tool, and it was just mentally and psychologically a great fit for me. I really wanted to share this with folks. And so I jumped in, and I will tell you that this has created a significant amount of income for my family over the last 6 or 7 weeks. But more importantly, I think between us, our team can help thousands of people over the coming year just deal with things like credit and debt and life insurance and just generally getting your financial affairs in order. So what you're going to hear over the next few minutes has some pieces to it. There's the product side, which I know can help everybody, but then there's also the business side, which might or might not be interesting to you, but I'm going to spend most of my time talking about talking about the product, but I will at the end at least describe how you can create a very significant income on the side. So if that's fair enough, we'll just get started. All right, so there's some folks there, but guys, we're going to be talking about the keys to financial freedom. And what I want you to keep in mind is that if you are not interested in the business, you're still about to see keys to financial freedom. And because you see, a lot of people think the keys to financial freedom is just making more money, right? But the truth of it is that making more money is nice. But I tell people, if you make $200,000 and you spend $201,000, you're every bit as broke as somebody that makes $20,000 and spends $21,000. The key is to live intelligently financially within your means, whether your means are 200 million or 20,000. So what we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes, the product is going to help you live within your means and organize your debt. Now, it would be nice if we could create a little income for you that makes your means, stretches out your means a little bit. So we're going to talk more about those things. But as I move through here, I want you to sort of pick out the keys to financial freedom, and I will mention that several times as we go. But we're going to talk about, for the next few minutes, what is FES, Financial Education Services, and we're going to talk about how to position yourself with the best interest rates for available purchases and how important that is with cars and houses, whatnot. And we're going to talk about how to pay off debt. And because, guys, a lot of folks just have debt, and they think that's just a way of life, and you're paying off debt, and that debt is keeping you from going on things like, vacations you want to take your family on and getting that car that you wanted to have because you're paying debt that you could manage better. And we'll talk more about that. And then we're also going to talk about how to build a significant business that won't interfere from what you're doing right now with your 9-to-5 job. And so what I'd like to talk about first is why are these things important to you? Or why should these things be important to you? And by these things, I mean dealing with debt, organizing your credit, just generally getting your financial affairs in order at your home, and why those things could have a big impact. I'm going to skip this slide and move to some interesting, or I guess sobering, statistics in America today. Guys, 43 million people have 599 credit score or less. That's a lot of people that have a bad credit score. Even if you have a great credit score, though, hang with us, because even if you have a great credit score, you are at the right place, because I'm going to show you how to keep it that way. Nearly half of Americans don't even know their credit score. Average debt is $225,000. Guys, $225,000 average debt with $500 in savings. Imagine that. Well, I don't guess you don't have to imagine it. You're statistically average if that's you. But 49% have no retirement, 65% have no will, 82% no trust, no medical or financial power of attorney, 71%. $58 billion in unclaimed life insurance policies and bank accounts and pensions because a spouse dies and the other spouse doesn't know where to find all their stuff, right? We'll talk more about that in a second. And then every 2 seconds, somebody's identity is stolen. Even if you've got great credit, you could be in trouble if someone steals your identity and does some things that can make your credit go south, right? In fact, in 2016, the Equifax is the largest security breach in history. There were millions of identities stolen, and I think you probably remember that. So in the next few minutes, I want you to sort of ask yourself these questions. And these are sort of wink, wink questions, right? Because these might be you. But, who do you know that has less than perfect credit? You raise your hand. Who do you know that they have debt, but they really don't have any idea how they're going to pay it off? They just sort of, doggy paddle to say to keep their heads above water, and it keeps them going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And then, who do you know that just generally doesn't have their financial affairs in order, right? That might be you. It might not be you, but it's probably somebody you know. And then who do you know that just doesn't like their current job, or they're looking for a career change? And we're going to talk about that. You see, these are some hints towards keys to financial freedom. And Financial Education Services is not a credit repair company. That's only one of the things we do. We're trying to educate families to make better and stronger and more sound financial decisions. Part of that is credit, but there are a lot of other parts to it. So as we start to think about who might be interested in this, who do you need to know that, or who do you know that needs to make more money or can't afford an annual vacation, or just sort of not where they want to be in life and they want to take control of their life back. And then, just generally want a solution or a plan of action as opposed to just treading water. You see, guys, the truth of it is many of us, or most of us, if not all of us, were not educated in school about how to deal with credit and debt and how to stay out of financial trouble. We learned things like calculus and geometry and geography and things, but we didn't learn the things that Financial Education Services can teach us, and therefore are the keys to financial freedom. So we're going to talk about how you can learn some of these things later on in life, because the financial education you're going to get here is really training you should have had a long time ago, right? Because we're going to learn how to protect your identity and your credit, and how to maintain your assets and protect your family and your freedom and your finances. And then if all of those things make sense to you, surely you're going to tell your friends and family about that. And if you do, and if they also want to change their life in those ways, you're going to look at a life-changing, lucrative entrepreneurial opportunity. Boy, that's a mouthful. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. Before we do, though, guys, a little something about the company. I mentioned that it was A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. That's a really, really big thing. They're headquartered in Farmington Hills, Michigan, and they've been around for almost 15 years. These are the two founders over there. And guys, it's important to note that when the company was founded initially, they were advertising like old-fashioned companies do, right? Radio, television, magazines, and that kind of thing. Well, about 7 years ago, they decided very intentionally to start marketing their company through social media, through direct sales, through people talking to their network of friends and family. Since they did that, their business has exploded because, guys, that's where advertising is going. Brick and mortar businesses are falling apart. Just look at Toys R Us. Businesses like that just sell primarily brick and mortar retail and only advertise in traditional ways are falling apart. It's in our lifetime, we'll see it virtually disappear. The company made those intelligent decisions and therefore became debt-free. And when a company's having this kind of success, obviously they have the same key executives in place since the beginning. So what we're going to talk about now is what's in the membership. I talk about it not just being about improving your credit or even monitoring your credit. There's so much more, and we're going to talk about that right now because, guys, the center of what we do has to be credit repair, right? But it doesn't mean all of these other things aren't going to orbit around it. But, Your credit is your vital sign. It's being monitored at all times. It's your financial vital sign, like a heartbeat. It can impact your insurance premiums and your interest rates. You can be denied the ability to rent or purchase or get a credit card or even get a good job somewhere. Having good credit is essential. It could cost you $200,000 up to $1 million in your lifetime, with the difference between great credit and horrible credit could be up to $1 million for someone coming out of college. Hey guys, here's how your debt breaks down. You look at new credit, you look at length of credit, you look at amount used. Obviously, payment history is the biggest component, but these are interesting breakdowns of what impacts your credit score. And FES has learned that that protecting these and organizing these and trying to improve these are part of the keys to financial freedom. Another hint to pay attention to. So guys, let's talk real quickly about some myths. You know, a lot of people say, well, Scott, I can't really do that. Aren't the credit agencies some kind of governmental authority? No, guys, credit agencies have no legal authority at all. Credit agencies are required to, by law, to keep derogatory comments on your credit record for 7 to 10 years. No, guys, credit companies are not required to keep things on your record for 7 to 10 years. That's another myth. Another myth is, you know, information can't be changed, or it's somehow immoral to have it removed or altered. Well, no, the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971 gives us the ability and the rights to have things that are inaccurate or untimely removed from our credit report. There are a lot of things in your credit report that still should not be there. A lot of people think paying a past due debt removes it from your credit report. No, that's another myth. These things were sort of eye-opening to me a bit. Inquiries are not derogatory. You know, that's another myth. Well, no, some inquiries can be derogatory while others aren't. The fact of it is, if we really wanted to do this for ourselves, which I can't imagine why we would, but if we really wanted to not hire the company and go out there and figure these things out, we would have to learn all these details in the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971. And who has time to do that? Guys, look at these things. It addresses late payments and short charge-offs and foreclosures and bankruptcies and tax liens and collections and short sales and medical bills. You don't have time. You might be a school teacher. You might be in the insurance. You might be a fireman. Do you really have time to sit down and go through all of these things and figure out all these things for yourself? You see, guys, there's a company here that knows how to deal with inaccuracies and charge-offs and late payments and foreclosures and bankruptcies and tax liens and collections and short sales and medical bills. This is what these guys are doing. This is what they have done. And organizing these things and dealing with these things efficiently are some of the keys to financial freedom. You see how that phrase keeps moving through the conversation here? So could you go out and learn all of these things? If you wanted to, I suppose you could take off a day every week and figure it out on your own. But you also might want to hire a company that has an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau to do it for you. Now, why you might not hire these guys, obviously, is the cost, right? And we're going to talk about the cost in a minute. But then I'm going to immediately show you how I got rid of the cost altogether, and I don't plan to pay for it anymore, and I use it all the time. And we'll talk about that, and I'll show you exactly how to do that here in just a second. Before we do, though, guys, I want to make sure that you hear one thing very clearly. I am not sitting here, the company is not sitting here telling you that we promise you we're going to move the credit score that you have from, say, 544 to 744, right? There are no promises being made. Because think about that logically. If you're sitting there and you've just got a couple little medical dings, maybe a few little credit card late payments, and that's dragging you down a bit, but then your friend says, oh yeah, I've got a foreclosure, bankruptcy, repossession. How can I make the same promise to you and the same promise to her or him, right? It doesn't make any sense. So the company doesn't make a number guarantee. What they do is they say, look, guys, hire us. Here's a scorecard. This is the dashboard. Hold our feet to the fire and make sure we're doing the work that we say that we're going to do, and monitor us right here. And this is the environment where you monitor what they do. So it shows your credit score. It shows where you're starting. And the goal, of course, is to move that needle out of the orange and over to the dark green. And they will let you monitor every piece of the pie, every step of the way. You can watch it on this dashboard. And here's some examples of some things they've had removed over the years. American Express, deleted. Chase, deleted. EDU, deleted. Federal government, deleted. Ford, deleted. You see the general idea. There's a lot of things that are either in dispute or being deleted. That's just an example. But guys, they have almost a 15-year track record of doing this. They removed nearly 1 million derogatory items from people's credit report. Not modified or enhanced a little bit. We're talking about deleted, gone. the work they've done has led to tens of thousands of satisfied clients. In fact, they're so sure that you're going to be happy with the customer side that they have satisfaction guaranteed in their product. Now, I talked about that everything we do is not credit repair. We also have a program, and I like this program. I just signed up my 20-year-old as a customer and an agent last weekend. And one of the things I wanted from him is this positive credit builders. You see, young people don't have any credit, bad or good, right? But they have trouble going in to get a car because they have no credit. Well, if as a member here, they'll give you the tools and they'll give you the recommendations and they'll help you build excellent credit because they're going to teach you what debt's good, what debt's bad, how to deal with it. And speaking of debt, as a member, you're also going to have access to a program called Debt Zero. The guys, Debt Zero, as the name implies, is trying to get your debt from where it is. You might have student loans and cars and houses and medical bills, whatever. You need to pay those off in an intelligent, systematic way with two things in mind. Number one, you want to get out of debt. Number two, though, you'd like to pay those things off where it has the maximum impact on your credit score. Well, this company, and if you're a member, you have access to that, and they'll show you, they'll have an interactive online debt elimination payoff program and budgeting tool that tries to meet those two goals. It's a really, really big deal. Now, guys, speaking of a big deal, you might get nervous if you get a lien or garnishment or any kind of attachment of your wages. Well, you don't really know who to call. Well, as a member, you're going to have access to a credit attorney that helps you feel at ease, knowing you have a defense team on your side. That's a big deal. So, guys, I want you to start seeing the value of the product that we have here. You see, we're not just talking about credit repair. We're also talking about credit monitoring. Some people that have great credit, they just hire this company to monitor it, make sure it stays there. And part of how we do that at FES is we have a partnership with a company you probably have heard of called LifeLock. LifeLock is the monster in the space. They comb through over 1 trillion data points every day to make sure people's identities aren't being compromised. We have a program called MyCare. MyCare allows you to do your will and power of attorney and trust and everything within a program called MyCare. That alone is worth thousands of dollars, and there's a piece of it that comes with your membership, and there's a piece of it you can pay a little extra if you're doing some really detailed things. But we also have a product that's called Financial Lockbox. And remember, a minute ago they said $58 billion of unclaimed money goes lost every year with life insurance and accounts and things. Well, were I to go out there and go jogging tomorrow and drop dead someplace, my wife wouldn't have any idea where to find out all the information about where different things were, because it's sort of all in my head and it's over here, it's in a file over there, it's on my cell phone. Well, if I've got everything in this financial lockbox, my wife or somebody's husband or somebody's kids can find out exactly how to deal with their estate because everything's in one place. We also have a discount program for prescription drugs, up to 85% off for prescription drugs. If you like to travel, we have a travel portal program that's fully backed by American Express and helps you find the very best travel deals out there. We also have a shopping portal with over 4,000 retail partners, and the shopping portal has a cash back component. And also we have a youth financial literacy partner that we deal with, that we work with, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But a little piece, or you can choose when you shop, a little piece goes towards this youth financial literacy program, which teaches youth how to more intelligently deal and organize their finances as they grow older. Remember a minute ago, I said we didn't have that opportunity when we were young. We also have insurance solutions, be it health insurance, where you can put health insurance options side by side. We don't have a health insurance program, but we allow you to compare them. Same way with automobile insurance. We're about to enter into a relationship with an entity that aggregates 200 different quotes and puts them in a spreadsheet for you to organize and to research what the car insurance solution is best for you. We'll have that relationship here very soon. And we have other insurance options like dental and life insurance. When you become an agent, which you can do here in a few minutes, when you become an agent, you get life insurance, and it can get up to as high as $100,000 once you've been an agent for a year, guys. $100,000 of life insurance once you've been an agent for a year. And one of my favorite programs to talk about is a program called Credit My Rent. Credit My Rent. You might know, I didn't, but when you pay your mortgage payment each month, it goes towards improving your credit score. You probably knew that part. But did you know that when you pay a rental payment, apartment or to a landlord, it has no impact on your credit score at all? Now, if you don't pay it, they'll turn you in. But if you do pay it, there's no report given to the credit agencies that help you improve your credit score by paying rent timely. Well, Credit My Rent's a program that will go backwards 2 years and create a template showing who you paid and when and how much, and they'll work with the credit bureaus to get you the positive impact for paying rent that you're really due, right? So that does a couple things. Number one, of course, it helps your credit score. But number two, if you go in to get a home and you're trying to get a mortgage, they're going to look at this Credit My Rent and they'll see a history of good payments, which is going to either help you get the loan at all, or it's going to help you get a better interest rate than you would have gotten otherwise. I love the Credit My Rent program. Those other things on the far right are things that could be coming soon. They're always looking at adding value, but are you starting to see there's a lot of value here? The telemedicine program, guys, you see listed out there, I love that. We'll have more details here in the next few weeks, but telemedicine allows, like today, right now, one of my sons is sick and he's sniffing and snorting and snotting everywhere and all that kind of thing. Well, if I were to get that tomorrow, I would know that I have such and such cold, right? I don't need to go to the doctor for the doctor to pay me, to charge me some co-insurance, and I know I've got it, right? So I'll just call the doctor, have a video conference with the doctor. They'll send me whatever prescription drugs I need to the CVS or Walgreens, and I'll run get it, and I'll save that $50 copay at the doctor's office. The telemedicine program alone, for a family that's engaging with that telemedicine program, that alone could pay for this program in its entirety. So we'll talk about the cost of it here in just a second. But look at what some of our customers are saying. Now, these are people that are engaging with the product. In a minute, we're going to see some other folks that are going to have some testimonials about the business. But these people are just talking about the product. You can see Johnny and Sandra saved $1,000 a month after a bankruptcy. Yvette Reed, $2,000 a year of car insurance she saved because her credit score is better. Vinny, look at Vinny, had a tax lien and a foreclosure deleted from his credit reports. You know, way to go. Vinny Ho from Westminster, California. You see, guys, there's a lot of real people. But what attracted me to this company, the money was sort of nice, but I didn't know if it was real or not. I really didn't know if I could make a go of it. It turns out it is, and I have. But and I think you can too. But the impact we have on real people is really, really intriguing to me. I love to see this kind of thing. You see, people want to protect what matters most: their family, their finances, their future, and this company allows you to do that. All those products we just talked about allow you to do that. And if you were to go out and purchase all those things individually, guys, you'd be looking at about $400 a month or so. There's a lot of value there. If you were to add in the trust and the power of attorney and some of that expensive legal work, you could be looking at spending $10,000 a year in some markets. Well, ours, you pay a $99 one-time activation fee. All right, so a $99 one-time activation fee, and then you pay $89 a month thereafter. So to start, you're paying $188, and that gets all of these wheels engaged, right? All the things that you see there. Now, I want to tell you a story that kind of makes me feel like I'm a little bit ignorant, but I tell it every night, and my wife's sitting here at the table with me. She just sat down, and I know she's going to roll her eyes, so I'm not looking over there. But so $89 a month. I'll tell you that when I saw that, even though all of these things that I'm going to be getting, I still thought, $89. And I have this weird habit of breaking everything down by the day. You know, like I'll tell my wife sometimes, hey, let's try to spend such and such a day, or let's spend such and such this day. And so $89 a month for me was $3 a day, right? So I'm having this debate with myself going into Target. There's a Starbucks in Target here locally, and every day that I go or she goes, we get the same coffee. It's a Java chip Frappuccino with extra whipped cream, or light on the whipped cream, skim milk, blah, 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 same stuff. Well, it's about a $5 drink at Starbucks, and we tip a couple of bucks because we're nice people that way. And so we spend $7 a day on coffee, $7. Now I'm standing in line, not thinking at all about $7, but I'm obsessing over whether or not I want to spend $3 on life insurance, a financial lockbox, LifeLock, to protect my identity, to improve my credit, to monitor my credit, to restore inaccuracies, the discount plan, the medical stuff, the prescription card. Seriously, I'm debating on $3 a day. I felt like the biggest dummy because, guys, it's all about priorities, isn't it? And so I went outside and I called my buddy back and I said, look, let's get going. I don't know what I was thinking. He said, well, were you thinking about not doing this? And I said, well, the $89 was sort of bugging me. And he laughed. He said, dude, seriously, you're only going to pay that once. And I said, no, it says $89 a month. And he says, well, yeah, but once you bring 5 people in, if you can find 5 people in the country somewhere that want to have better financial situation at home, then you're not going to pay your $89 anymore. And I said, oh, So just maybe once? He said, well, yeah, I mean, you're supposed to pay it every month, but once you've got those 5, you're not paying it anymore. So I was intrigued. I wanted to hear more, and I started learning and listening. And sure enough, I got involved, and I've only paid it the one time. We'll get there in a second. But I have people sometimes will say, Scott, this is another one of those credit repair things. Well, guys, credit restoration is only a small part of what we do. I can honestly tell you, I would not be as excited sitting here if it was just credit restoration. It's not that sexy, right? But think about all these other things. We're the only company that can provide a will, a trust, and a power of attorney. We provide credit monitoring. A couple of the other guys charge for it. We provide identity protection. A couple of the other guys charge for it. We have a debt elimination program, and we're the only one. And the bottom line is where I want to go right now, because part of the keys to financial freedom obviously might be making more dollars. So we are the only one with an income opportunity that's associated with the other work that we do. So in other words, if I want to save my family money and do all these improvements and not tell any friends and family and kind of keep it to myself, it seems sort of selfish, but I can do that. But if I go out and tell my sister-in-laws and my sister and my mother and my brother and my best friends, and I tell them about the product, I'm going to be paid pretty handsomely for sharing. I'm the advertisement for financial education services. Before I get and I'm about to get to the money making part, but I want you guys to know that we do have a partnership with the Youth Financial Literacy Program. So all $2 out of every membership goes each month. And we have given these guys this year, it'll be right at $1 million. Hey guys, when I saw all of this, I thought, okay, put me on the phone with somebody who's making some money. And my buddy put me on the phone with somebody that was making 6 figures a month, and he said, Scott, listen to so-and-so. And I got on the phone and I listened, and I realized real quickly that we've got something that every adult in America should have. And if every adult in America should have it, and most don't know it exists, that's a pretty good business model. So I said, well, let's start talking about that. And I realized that, everywhere you look, 40 and 50-year-olds are trying to get home and work from home. And the gentleman that I talked to was 24 years old, making 6 figures a month, and he's certainly staying at home. He's helping people full time right now. He's helping people understand the keys to financial freedom. He's doing that full time at home, and he's doing very, very well for himself. So I started digging, and I understood that what we had here was entrepreneurship meeting corporate America. It was the intersection of those two things, and that intrigued me because I've always been an entrepreneur, and I like the idea of helping other families financially. I don't necessarily want to know if little Johnny's got a runny nose or little Sarah likes her class at school, not that kind of stuff. But if I can help a family make money and help a family or help a mother or father bless their family by taking them on vacation and some big important things like that, I love to do it. It's my passion when I get up every day. So as you start to think about whether or not this is something that you could do, I want you to start bifurcating the conversation in your mind into two different pieces. One is developing relationships that are corporate accounts. In other words, who do you know in the realty business that needs customers with good credit? Or who do you know that needs other customers with good credit, like in the car business or the mortgage business or the finance business? So you're going to develop corporate relationships, and they're going to steer people to you because you representing a company with an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau. They're comfortable to steer clients to you. But then also, guys, you can reach out to friends and family, and you can invite them to be an agent with you, and you're going to get an override off of everything they do, just like the Allstate state guy for the state gets an override on all the regional salespeople. It's not indifferent than all those other industries, right? When you go to buy a pair of shoes, the sales manager on duty gets a little cut of all the different salespeople selling shoes. It's just the way corporate America works. But so think about people, who do you know in the mortgage business or car dealerships or real estate agents or tax professionals or bankruptcy attorneys or loan modification, debt settlement companies? Just think about who you know that need customers with good credit. Now, here's how it works, guys. When I got involved, I said, okay, well, tell me more about that not paying the $89 thing. I love the program, but I just say not pay the $89. And he said, well, Scott, you can pay an extra $100 and you start your business. And you can deal with that in whatever tax way you want to. But for me, it seems like it's something I could write off as a business expense, right? Because I'm starting a business. So I paid my $100. And once I paid my $100, I could then go out and tell other people about it and get paid. So I asked, okay, well, what do I need to do? And he said, well, find somebody in America that wants a better financial situation at home. And that sounded so duh. Everybody wants a better financial situation at home. And sure enough, for the most part, they do. So I went out and found a customer, and they signed up, and I got $100. It pays me every single week. So the first Thursday, I got, a chunk of hundreds because I went out and helped somebody else, and then I found somebody else. Well, once, if you think about it, if you're spending $89 a month and you are finding one person and you're getting 100, you're already ahead, right? You're already up $11. If you find that other person, now you're making money. And if you find that third person, now you've completely paid for your entire business and your membership. If you go out there and find 5 more, you don't pay your membership anymore. So I got to thinking about the math, and I realized that for every person that pays their $89 each month, I'm going to get a $12 residual chunk. So I'm making all these hundreds, but I'm also, months from now, I've built up this large, group of customers, and they're all paying their $89, and I'm making $12 on all of those people. You bring in 100 customers over time, you're looking at $1,200 a month. Now, that was not that intriguing to me because I realized that it's very difficult to go out there and put together those kind of numbers consistently. So I started playing around with the math, and what I realized was that 5 members a month could make me $500, right? $100 times 5. But then I started thinking, well, 5 a week could be 2,000, and 10 memberships a week could be 4,000. And if I really put some time and maybe I ran ads on Craigslist and I really, really worked, I could get 20 memberships a week. And that's a 6-figure income, on the side as a little fun money. And so I started to work it. And the guys, none of this stuff is just like I can't guarantee your credit score is going to go from 500 to 700. I can't guarantee you're going to make anything. I'm just showing you how the financial plan works. Now, I will tell you that I've met people that are making nothing, and I've met people that are making 6 figures a month. It really depends on how smart you are, how much you work, and how much time and willingness and dedication you're putting into this. But you can go anywhere you want to with it. I know that. But when I started thinking about those numbers, I thought, well, that's a lot of conversations for Scott to be having to bring in all those customers. And I realized that J. Paul Getty had a great quote. He said, I'd rather make 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own effort. In other words, he's talking about leverage, right? And it's the same thing Warren Buffett says when he says, if you don't figure out a way to make money, you're going to work. If you don't figure out a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until the day you die, right? He's talking about you got to leverage. In his case, it's in the market, but you can also leverage in other ways. And so what I want to show you real quickly is a way that you can become an agent and then get an override on the work that your partner agents do. And I'm just going to run through these slides, but I want you to understand you can move up the rank, but I'm getting to this slide right there. That's what I want to show you. Guys, this is my favorite slide in all of business. I absolutely love this slide because to me, it visually demonstrates, if you think about corporate America and you're a sales clerk and you come over on the far left side and you're hired as a sales clerk at Sears, the only way that you are going to run that store, in other words, you're going to move over the years, you got to put a lot of years in, you got a brown nose, you got to show up, you might have to step on some people, get around people, you got to knock people out of the way. Corporate America is ugly, right? Nothing wrong with it. It's just ugly. It's a lot of work and for a lot of years. And that's fine for some people. But for me, I wanted a way that I could wake up in the morning and be excited to help other people. And then if I could be excited to help other people, I'd like to be paid for that. Great. But I'd also want that single mom to run up and hug my neck when she's making $200 a week that changed her life, right? So what I've learned and what I've found here, and I'm going to try to remove, I don't know why this little thing's up there. Hold on just 1 second, guys. Whoop. So anyway, I was trying to get that. I don't know if you can see it, that little box across the top. But anyway, so you can come in as an agent. Now, when you bring in a couple of friends, let's say that Donna and June want to jump in the business with you. And when your organization, Donna and June, when your organization looks like a certain thing, and then your organization has a certain amount of volume, in other words, enough memberships in it, you're going to rank up. So when you first get in, you're making 100. But then when you get in and you bring in a couple of people with you, you rank yourself up to $160. So now you're making 160 if you personally bring somebody in. And then if your team brings somebody in, you're making a $60 override. So if you imagine you bring in 6 or 7 people on your team, and let's just say 6 people go out and bring in 2 people that week, that's 12 people. And now you're making 12 times 60. So you made $720 for not a lot, right, that week. You see how the math can get pretty substantial. Well, guys, you can rank yourself up each week. Like last night, we finished up our volume week and we finished up our volume month. Every pay period has a week and a month, right? So every week you can rank yourself up. So when I got involved, I said, well, tell me what I need to do. And they said, Scott, just go out and bring in 5 people and help those 5, bring 5, and you'll be surprised. So that's what I did. And I ranked up to field trainer, to senior field trainer, to sales director, to regional sales director in my first, I think, 3 weeks. So now I'm at a point where I'm making $430. So if Scott's going to make $430 when I bring in a personal partner, how many people do you think I'm going to try to talk to every day? Do I want to try to bring in 3 partners a day? 3 times 430, that's $1,290. Guys, yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to talk to a bunch of folks. And then I'm also able to get up to a $330 override. Because imagine if I bring in an agent who's getting 100 and 430 is to be paid. Well, the agent gets 100 and I get the difference between where I am and where the agent is. So I'm getting $330 unlimited depth, guys. That is huge. Look at the little green arrows down there. Let me explain that. Let's say that I talk to Don and Don talks to Jerry and Jerry brings in Stan and Stan brings in Sarah, and it goes down 50 levels or 150 levels or 2,000 levels, doesn't matter. When somebody gets in the business down there and I'm at the 430 level, let's say nobody else is ranked up past the 240. Well, that means someone's going to get the 240, someone's going to get the 160 if there's rank there, and then I'm going to get the difference between 240 and 430. Guys, I could get $190 on somebody that is 97 levels below me. It's the most amazing compensation plan I've ever seen with its richness and with its givingness, but also it's the most amazing compensation I've seen because I don't get to regional sales director without helping people get to sales director and senior field trainers. I have to bless and encourage and help and motivate my team to elevate myself. So I can't come in here and brown nose or buy my way to the top. I have to help people. Now, guys, let's not forget, the product is a blessing, right? And if you're saying, what do you mean? Let me explain. Let's just say a single mom with 3 kids is out there and the husband's left her and now she's found herself in a pickle. Her credit is shot because she's unable to pay her bills that they ran up as a couple, right? It happens every day. Well, her credit is shot. You come in and say, well, look, let's fix your credit so we can get you that car so that you can get to that job so you can pay for your kids' private school or get them to college. Conversations like that every day I'm having are blessing people with the product. So if you think about what we've got here, we've got a product that is helping people, encouraging people, nourishing people, blessing people, whatever you want to say. But then also the compensation structure does that. Because just last night, I had people that I signed up personally, and I realized some other people were trying to get to senior field trainer or field trainer. I just gave them my people to try to get them elevated up because I want them encouraged and I want them getting a good check, and it moves me up the ladder as well because my organization needs to look a certain way. I love this company for a lot of reasons, but I love the way it's built like that. So let's say you got somebody in Kansas City, and that person in Kansas City knows a couple people in California, one down in Texas, and one over in Georgia, and one in New Jersey. And they bring those people in, and those people start to talk to their friends and kind of tell them about the financial education we've just gone over. And when this happens, that creates about $5,000 of bonuses for that person in Kansas City. So then they have to think, well, I'm going to do that once a month. Every month I'm going to do that. Well, it's certainly possible. There's people doing it all over the place. Or some people say, no, pedal down. Let me get the gas pedal. Get out of the way. I'm going to do it once a week. And other people say, well, hold on. If 20,000 is once a week, I'm going to do it 4 times a week. There's so much potential. And I saw people in Orlando that were doing this. It's not some mythical thing that doesn't happen. I saw people doing it. I talked to them and they told me how to get it done, right? Guys, it's an amazing potential. So when I heard all this, I said, okay, what do I need to do? And they said, well, go out and find 5 agents, Scott, because you don't have to pay for your service anymore, number one. So I went out and found 5 agents, and they said, while you're there, grab 5 customers. And I said, okay, I'll grab 5 customers. And they said, well, teach everybody to do that. That's that. You don't have to overcomplicate things. Get 5, teach 5. Get 5, teach 5. Get 5, teach 5. And until they can get 5, teach 5, get 2 and teach 2, right? And then once you've got 2, because everybody's got 2 people, we call them ducks. right? Everybody in life has two people that will absolutely do anything you ask them to. If you ask your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your best friend from high school, somebody is going to get in the business with you. And those two people also have two people. And then people start making money and everybody starts saying, oh, this works. Let's grow this thing. I'm going to do 5 by 5 instead of 2 by 2. And you're going to see the math takes off exponentially. Another way we get paid, in addition to those cab bonuses that I love so much, is the Infinity bonus. You see, I'm at regional sales director. So my first 2 months, I was at regional sales director, and I got $187.50, basically, a little bit more than that because my volume was higher than 25,000 minimum. But guys, I've got a buddy of mine, that 24-year-old, or he's 25 now, by the way, happy birthday. He's 25. He's got a business, it's worth $2.5 million a month, and he gets 2.5% of that. Guys, he's getting $62,500 added to his check each month. That's not his check. That's not his annual check. That is added in addition to what we've talked about to his check each month. Now, guys, there's a lot of room to not be as good as him or as good as he is and still have an incredible income coming into your home. Is it not? There's a lot of ways to miss that and still be good. So I'm not going to go through all these things. We're running out of time. But, guys, there's different ways you rise up through the business. You can see a $10,000 cash bonus and $1,500 vehicle payments and a $25,000 cash bonus. There's a Bentley on the line when you get to a certain point, plus a little $50,000 cash bonus. There's different levels you rise up through depending on how many people you bless. If you bless thousands of people, you're going to rise up to the top of the level. If you bless 4 people, you're still going to make a little bit of money, but you're not going to make as much as if you're blessing thousands. So guys, I met folks in Orlando that were getting these cars. These are some of them. I can see some of their faces. It's a little bit blurry, but I met some of those folks, guys. But we're talking about building true wealth and freedom here. You have the best information and the best resources to back you up. You have online training, conference call training, local training, regional training, national training. Today was a Sunday, and if you wanted to, you could have been on 4 different phone calls. Not to say you had to, but you could have been on 4 different calls. The support is amazing. Here are a couple of other testimonials. Wayman and Jean says their retirement future is set. Warren says, money is no longer a concern about his retirement. Warren Bowerfield from Minneapolis, Minnesota. David Moon said, now I finally have my dreams back, right? Some of us find ourselves in that dark place, and if we can just get a little success and smell a prosperity and see the end of the light on the tunnel, all those different things, we can get the dreams back, right? So when you see this, you might be thinking, well, Scott, I've got excellent credit. I don't really care about somebody stealing my identity. And, I don't need my credit monitored. All those kind of sounds goofy, but some people are like that, right? But you can still give leads to your friend that introduced you to this video. You might be watching this and you think, well, of course I'm going to get the protection plan. And that's a lot of value there, but I don't care about the business. Okay, that's fine. And you might be looking at it and think, well, hold on. I am going to get the protection plan, but dadgummit, the financial opportunity, I'm just going to go ahead and sign up because I want to try to at least get what I'm going to spend on the product. I'd like to get that back each month by signing up my 5 people. And then once you've signed up 5 people, you're going to realize how much money's there and you're going to keep going, right? So you might want to get to be on the business side. So getting started, guys, it's 3 simple steps. You pay your $288, which is, remember, it was a $99 activation fee, the $89 first month, and plus the $100, which is $288. And that gets you your business started and gets you everything that we talked about as far as all the different things that come in the free membership. You're going to learn number 2, you're going to learn how to engage with social media. You're going to plug into our heartbeat and our rhythm of our company. You're going to find friends and family that will support you in our FES family. You're going to learn how to sell protection plan memberships and establish corporate accounts and build a team of agents and manage a national organization. Basically, guys, you're CEO of your company. You need to understand and maximize the compensation plan and build a long-term residual income and be a successful leader if you have the right mindset, right, and the right attitude. And you're going to learn so much more. You're also, when you get started, you're going to receive a personalized website, online sales tracking system, agent and customer support, weekly access to marketing materials. Guys, we get paid every single Thursday. I will tell you, I've been surprised. There's been commas involved in all my checks but one. And I just got started 6 weeks ago. It's stunning, nothing short of stunning. Guys, there's a lot of tax advantages. This is straight up 1099. So you'll get a 1099 at the end of the year. So you need to keep up with lunches and miles and appropriate tax things. You're going to be put in a position to help others. So you can see you get a lot of products. You get a lot of security. You get some amazing rewards. You know, you get things like life insurance. You're getting all of that for the $89. And when you find 5 agents and or customers, you can have 3 agents and 2 customers, whatever, you get your product for free. Guys, you know, in summary, who do you know that has less than perfect credit or doesn't have a will, trust, or power of attorney? You know, these aren't products that are designed for the guy that wants to lose weight or the guy that wants to grow hair or the lady that, you know, wants to run a marathon. Everybody's here. You know, who do you know that has debt and doesn't really have a plan to pay it off? Or, you know, who do you know in the real estate or mortgage or auto or banking business? You know, or who do you know that's looking for full or part-time income or just frustrated with their career, you know, wants to be financially free? Guys, you see how we have really solved a lot of the keys or we provided a lot of the keys to financial freedom? I hope that you see that all of this came together. The way that you get started, guys, though, is you're going to be excited. You're going to be excited, I promise. At some point, you're going to see how much money's here, and you're going to see how many people you can bless, and you're going to start verbally throwing up on all your friends. Oh, my God, it's the best thing I've ever seen. I got on this call, and Scott said, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to go, whoa, 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 Scott. Or, you know, talking to you. They're going to say, Scott or John or Mary, I know that you're a school teacher or you're this or you're that. You're not a credit consultant. So, guys, it's important. You're going to have the trust and rapport with your contacts, but you must, in order to be successful, I'm going to go ahead and say you must edify and promote an expert, be it me or somebody else. Invite your friends. I do this every night. Every night I sit right here at my dining room table, and every night I do this. Some nights I have 10 people sitting here. Other nights I have 50. Other nights I put it on Facebook and I have 1,000 viewers. But in other words, you need to plug your friends and family into a tool like this. Not necessarily me, but somebody like me. There's bunches of me's. I'm nothing special, but I have the respect and credibility with your friends if you build it, right? And if they get involved, they're going to want to know they have me too, right? If they don't get involved, they're not telling you no, they're telling some stranger that was on Zoom no, right? The 3-way dynamic is critical. Please, if you get involved in the business, use that tool. We're almost done, guys. I think it's just like one more slide. So you need to figure out, you know, whether you just want to provide referrals, become a customer, become an agent. You can start today for $288. Guys, I will tell you one thing. Get back to the person who shared this video with you for sure. But also, I'm going to be putting it on my Facebook wall later tonight. I'm going to be doing this every night because, guys, we've got a company that's A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. They're providing a series of financial education services that everybody needs them. Your friends, of course, are going to be resistant at first because everybody likes to say no because they don't want to be sold, you know, whatever. They don't want it to be a pyramid thing. But once they understand the company's been around a long time, they got an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, and they're just helping families deal with their financial struggles. Boom, that's that. And then plug them into one of our tools and grow a business that can change your life, or just engage with a service that's going to really, really bless your family financially because it's going to help you stretch your existing money. Some of us are going to want to make more money and be better stewards of it. Guys, I hope you sort of got a feel for what we're doing tonight. I'll be back here tomorrow night. I'd love to have you back. It's Scott Brewster, BREWSTER. You can look me up on Facebook, and I'll have this video out there in about 30 minutes to an hour, and you can find it on Facebook. All right? Thank you, guys. I hope to see you here tomorrow night. I appreciate you being here. Have a great evening, and hope you have a great start to the week. Thanks. Bye.